Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching from, depending on your time zone. Receive special greetings from me, and you're very much welcome to this program. I want to welcome you once more again to this program, which I call The Strong Woman. I call this program The Strong Woman because I will be talking or dealing with issues that are affecting women and girls all over the world. So, you're very much welcome to this wonderful program, and I am counting on your participation. So, you're so welcome to give your own opinions, to ask questions in whatever way that you feel that you can participate. Because I think women and girls are a category of persons in the society that needs attention in some way or the other. So, thank you guys so much for being part of this program today, and you're welcome again. Thank you. Now, actually, guys, we're going to begin today, and today I want us to talk about a kind of sensitive topic. This topic that I want us to talk about is something that is very much prevalent in the society, digging so deep. So, this is something that has destroyed a lot of relationships. This is something that is causing problems in marriages. And this is a kind of sensitive topic that whenever this topic is being brought forth, some people don't like it. Some shy away from it, maybe because they have experienced it, and hearing about it is like you want to rekindle a kind of nightmare that are trying to forget in their lives. So, to me, this topic is a huge problem that is so much in the society, digging so deep, and I feel that it should be addressed and it should be solved. So I think that the topic is worth talking about, is worthy of attention. So today I want us to talk about this topic because I realize that the consequences of this act is very grave on women and girls. Women and girls are the most victims of this, and they are really suffering, especially those who have gone through this. They are really suffering from this. And in other words, they also say that men are also victims of this. Yes, it could be, but if it is, it should be 80 against 20%. So I think 80% of those who suffer more from this are women and girls. So this is why I think that we should talk about it so that the society can look for means on how to address this situation. So guys, the topic that I want us to talk about today is rape. I know this is a sensitive topic, but it must be talked about because this thing is very much prevalent in the society, and it has consequences on the victims, and most at times it's being overlooked, and most at times we don't do much about it. So this is, to me, this is a huge problem in the society that I think should be addressed. So today we're going to be talking about rape. Why is it that victims of rape, women and girls who have experienced rape, why is it that they are so scared to come out and talk? Why do they find it so difficult to speak out? Because whenever they go through this thing, they need help. They need to be helped. They need help in all forms for them to be able to gain resilience and stand back on their feet. But if you're sick, if you need help, you're going through something, you need to talk. If you don't talk, people will not know what you're going through. If you don't talk, you'll not be able to receive the help that you need. So why is it that people who go through this thing, these horrible acts, they're always scared to come out to talk? They find it so difficult to talk, and they mostly die in silence. The help that they deserve, the help that they need, to not get to them because why they don't talk, they don't speak up. Why is it so? So, guys, your opinions are very much welcome. I want to hear from you. Your opinions are welcome, and even questions are welcome. So, now while waiting on your opinion, guys, I want us to look at the concept rape. Let's talk about the concept rape before we go to why victims of rape do not always come out to talk. What is rape? First, I want you to understand that rape is a form of gender based violence. This term that I call gender based violence is not new to you. I know this is a term you hear on daily basis. This is not a new term, but I just want us to talk a little bit about it, and let's see how rape is related or is a form of gender based violence. What is gender based violence then? Gender based violence is just a big term, what we call an umbrella term. An umbrella term that is used to describe harmful acts done to women and girls against their will and because of their sex. This is actually violence that is directed against someone's will due to the person's sex. This wrong thing was done to this person because she is a female. This wrong thing was done to this person because he is a male. So that's what we're talking about, gender-based violence. Now, when it comes to gender-based violence, gender-based violence, has types, and it has types and it has forms. Now, there are four main types of gender-based violence. We have the physical violence, we have the sexual violence, we have the psychological violence, and we have the socio-economic violence. Now, rape is a form of sexual violence. Sexual violence is a type of gender based violence. So, under sexual violence, we have rape, we have sexual assaults, we have female genital mutilation, and all the likes. Okay, now, usually, sometimes people get confused between sexual assault and rape. There's a very thin line between these two. Sexual assault is attempted rape. That sexual assault is more of touching, try to touch the genitals of a female without her consent. And with rape, there is penetration. So that's the slight difference between the two. Because usually, most of the times, people tend, when they talk of rape, they think of sexual assault, and when they talk of sexual assault, they think of rape. No, there are two things. So, what is rape? There was a definition of rape. Let's define rape in the most simple form. Rape is actually forced sexual intercourse between a male and a female that involves penetration. This penetration could be in the mouth, it could be in the ears, it could be anal, that's in the anus, and it could be in the vagina. Now, when we talk of rape, there must be penetration. Penetration must be involved, which means that if a man forces himself on a woman and penetrates in any of these parts, in the mouth, in the ear, in the anus, in the vagina, it is rape. And it is also called rape because the woman did not give consent to the act. That's why it is called rape. There is no consent. So one person who has power more than the other person forces himself on her, and the act occurs. So that is rape. So when rape occurs, what happens then? Rape has consequences, and these consequences are more on the victim, not on the perpetrator. Sorry, I'm using the word perpetrator. Let me define who a perpetrator is. Any man who commits the act of rape, any person who commits the act of rape is a perpetrator. That's a man, what we usually call rapists. A man that rapes the woman is called a perpetrator. Usually, they always say women also rape men. I've heard of this statement in many places and all the time. Yes, if a woman rapes a man, she's called a perpetrator as well. So the thing is 50-50. So whoever does the act is called a perpetrator. So now, when this rape occurs, the consequences are more on the victim, not on the perpetrator. The victim suffers the more. That is why we say when the act of rape occurs, victims' cry should be heard. They should be helped, and the perpetrator should not be left unpunished because rape is actually a horrible act. Very, very horrible. So, what are some of these consequences? There are a whole lot of it, but I'm going to give just some few. We have unplanned pregnancy. Imagine a small girl, a young girl is going to school and she has big dreams. She wants to study and go further. She wants to become a career woman, and maybe she's from a home that is not financially very viable. And out of a sudden, she's raped and pregnancy comes up. That's additional responsibility. This girl dreams begins to die gradually. And with the additional responsibility, her family is struggling. And with the additional responsibility, you can be rest assured that her dreams can die naturally. So that's why we say the act of rape is so bad. It's so bad, and the consequences are very grave on women and girls. The second point I would like to give here is the transfer of sexually transmitted diseases. If the perpetrator carries in his body HIV, chlamydia, gonorrhea, yes, transfer is inevitable to the victim. Reasons being that when it is rape, it's always unprotected. It's unprotected sex. So if this victim carries all of these diseases in his body, it's but normal that it will transfer. It's but normal that it's going to transfer. So that is it. There's also trauma. Rapes brings a lot of trauma. To some people, they never get over this trauma. Why to some, it takes a very, very long time for them to go through this trauma. So that is it. Now, it can also lead to low self-esteem. Women and girls who experience this rape often develop low self-esteem, and all of this can gradually creep to depression. And you know, depression kills. That's why I begin to hear of cases whereby people commit suicide. This is how it starts. So there are also some cases whereby victims also tend to develop extreme hatred for men. I mean, they detest men. They don't want to have anything to do with a man. Once they see a man, it's like the scenario comes back to them, and it's a nightmare. It's like a nightmare that I've been trying to forget is coming back, and this is causing a lot of issues in marriages whereby a girl or a woman who was once raped and gets married once the husband wants to touch her, this scenario begins to come back, and you see the marriage start having a lot of problems. So to some victims also, they tend to enjoy it. And the consequence of it is that they become so promiscuous. You say a young lady is so promiscuous and you're wondering, maybe you think she's just a bad seed. No, something happened earlier and she enjoyed it, and that is a consequence. So that is it. So those are some of the few consequences of rape that I've just given, that a whole lot. So these are just some few that I've given. So thank you so much, guys, for listening, and thank you so much for watching. In the second video, I will be talking about why victims of rape are so scared, why they find it so difficult to speak out when they experience rape. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and see you in the second video. Bye for now.